Assalamu alaikum everyone, dear students and all fellows who are watching me on this live video. Today, this class is for microeconomics, Benazir School of Business, Benazir Bhutto Shahid University, Liadi, Karachi. So I welcome all my students here who are watching me live today, and I hope that today's session is beneficial for you. I know that it's been around 3 months that we haven't conducted a class, and after conducting like classes after 3 months, um, it is we need a refresher course. So here we go with a small recap or refresher of the main chapter, that is the supply and demand mechanism and the supply and demand forces. So I hope that. This refresher session today will help you out to brush up all the concepts which we have covered so far, and then we will proceed with the next chapters and further topics, right? For all the audience who are not from BSP and listening to me today, let me share with you that we are following Gregory Mankiw's book, the latest edition, Principles of Economics, and the slides which I will share now have also been taken from Gregory Mankiw only. So you can follow the same book, and it is really very interesting if you really want to understand about the economics and its principles, macro, whatever the terminology in economics are. So let's start with our slides. I'll just share the slides with you. And students are advised to write their comments on Google Classroom if they have any queries. The groups have already been made and shared with you all. So you can ask your queries, questions related to that. Also, we'll be having a Zoom class after this session. So once you go through all the slides, we can have a discussion on all the topics. Meanwhile, I've also prepared your assignments, assignment questions, and that will also be shared in the Google Classroom. So once you are done with this lecture slide and everything, brace up yourself. The assignments are extensive, and you have to submit them, of course, on deadline. So check your Google Classroom after this session and the Zoom class. Okay, so over to this slides. Let me share the screen. Share screen. So, as I told you, that will be starting with the first basic chapter, the market forces of supply and demand. Before that, a brief overview. What is economics? I hope you all understand. I hope you all remember. But just a recap. Economics is all about a process that how economies or countries actually work. It's actually the process of production, consumption, and distribution of wealth, of resources. So we know that the resources are important, and how these resources are produced, how we actually consume them, and how they are actually distributed among different agents in an economy is actually all studying all this is economics. Economists actually, we say that it is the behavior of people, that how do they behave when they are interacting in the economy. All the economic agents, we know economic agents are the buyers and sellers. So in a country, everyone is either a buyer or a seller. We buy something so that we can eat something. We consume just that is to be buy so that we can consume. And again, we actually sell something that is maybe our goods, our services, whatever we are producing, so that we can earn something. So while this process of buying and selling is taking place, we are actually behaving in a particular way. We notice that we sometimes buy more of food items. During this pandemic, let's say, people started behaving very vaguely. In USA, they started buying more toilet papers. So their behavior was very different. And again, when you go in the market system, you interact very differently with everyone. With a supplier, if you're a firm, you're buying anything, with the supplier, you will interact in a very different way. You have a very different negotiation with them. But when you are selling something, 21, your behavior with customer is very different. And again, as a customer, you will behave differently so that you can bargain on prices. So the behavior and the interaction in a market system is very wide. So understanding that how these people, the buyers and sellers, are interacting with each other and buying and selling taking place in an economy is all about economics. The whole economy, the whole country is actually created on the basis of this buying and selling. So we actually have to understand only this. We know that we are studying about microeconomics, the microth part, the hundredth part, the smallest part. And we know that the whole economic pie, the whole economy is made up of people. So when we say that we are studying about microeconomics, we're actually concerned about people, how people are behaving, how people want to buy, sell, and involve in different activities. So this is how it is. We know that we know that markets are very essential. Even in the previous chapters, when we're studying about the basic principle of economics, let's say the 10 principles, we know one of the principles says that markets are actually usually a good way to organize the economic activity. There should be a market, there should be a place. Even in previous older times, there was a barter system, and people actually always were involved in exchanges. So, market is there, must be there, and markets are the places where exchanges or transactions take place. And we also remember one more important time, that was the Adam Smith's point, the Adam Smith's idea of invisible hand, that how market actually works with an invisible hand, an invisible force, which actually compels economy, or forces an economy to work towards a certain direction. So, what does Adam Smith say? That we all are actually working towards our own self interest. हम अपने भले के लिए काम करते हैं. We buy things for our own self. We sell things for our own self. We are actually working just to fulfill our own demands. So we are actually inclined towards self interest. So when there is a self interest, that self interest is actually the force. That is where that is where the whole market invisible hand mechanism is raised with. So I'm actually going back to my YouTube slides. One second, please. Yeah. So I'll share my slide along with. Yeah, here it is. Um, I hope you can hear me very clearly, and I'm resuming the same slide. Yeah. So we know that supply and demand are the two main forces or the main terminologies in economics. And without understanding these two terminologies, we cannot proceed further to learn the whole economic concept. So these are the words which economists usually most oftenly use. Why is that so? Because they are the basic terminologies. The whole structure or the whole foundation of economics is based only on these two major foundations. They actually build up the whole market economic structure. We know that countries without people are nothing. Countries without buyers are nothing, without sellers are nothing. Let's say everyone has a demand to buy something. We have a demand to buy fuel, to buy wheat, to buy any other eatable item, but there's no one to sell. So that's the thing, that how an economy could be created, a country could be created. And if that is the case, that no one is there to sell, again there will be an automatic mechanism, the invisible hand will work. People will start working so that they can produce something, maybe vegetables, maybe wheat or anything naturally, and then comes up this fulfillment of the demand. And we all know that demands are interesting, demands are innate. We all have needs, we all have the basic necessities. And then comes the luxuries and desires, which we've already discussed. So demand is there, and because the demand is there is actually supply too, so that the demand could be fulfilled. So we say that modern economics, the modern microeconomics, is all about supply, demand, and market equilibrium. Why are we actually studying about this behavior of consumers, the customers, and the sellers? It's just because we want to understand where, when the people interact with each other, they actually want to set up an equilibrium. All the buyers are inclined, they actually always want prices to be cut down, they want discounts, they want cheaper things so that they can buy more of the goods with a given amount of money which they have. Same is with the sellers, but the sellers think differently, of course. They think that the prices should be more so that they can they can earn more. And once they earn more, again, they are also connected with their own demand. The more they earn, the more they can fulfill their own demands, they can buy more. So this is how the whole mechanism, the whole system is working. So economists want to know that how people are interacting, and then how the prices in the system are being set, how that equilibrium point is being reached, to understand that. Because understanding this micro thing helps us understand about the macroeconomic part, that how the whole economy, the whole structures are working, how employment demand and supply is working, how prices or how inflation is working, how money supply is working. So all together, the basic concept of supply demand and equilibrium is very important. Moving ahead, we know that, okay, we have already covered, again, a market is just simply a group, a place where buyers and sellers are actually meeting. And we also know that this area, this definition, that there should be a geographical place where buyers and sellers have to meet, is no more a valid thing, because we have virtual markets too. All the buying, selling, the transactions are being taken place majoritarily in through online systems now. So, but the two major components of market is the buyer and the seller. So everyone has needs. Either they want to buy any tangible good or intangible good. Whatever they are needing, it's a good or a service. They're actually dealing with the transaction. Now they say that the term supply and demand refers to the behavior of people as they interact with one another in the market. So again, how you are buying any particular good, how you are selling any particular good, that is what supply and demand is. Know that it's because we have a demand, we have a desire, we have a need. To fulfill that need, we actually want to buy something. So when we want to buy something, it means that when we want to buy something, it means that we want to. One second, please. I need to take a break. One second. I'm sorry, I had to take a break. My laptop wasn't being charged. Now it's working properly. Yes, I'm coming back to the slides. Yes, here we go. Markets. So we know that because we have a demand of any particular good, that's why we go and buy something. That's why we are the buyers. So markets, in a market system, buyers actually determine the demand. Demand of anything is created by buyers. Just as I gave you an example of the toilet papers. So when people actually buy something, they are in need of something, they urge something. That's why the demand for toilet paper rose. Same is with the hand sanitizers during this pandemic. The demand for sanitizers rose again because it was a need. It became a necessity, and even the prices of that good were being increased. Still, buyers were buying the same quantity or more quantity of that good. We will discuss more about it with the same examples about related to the elasticity of such product and how disruptions in the market system changes the demand. Then comes market. In a market system, sellers actually determine the supply. It's actually sellers' will that what do they want to make. Of course, in a any rational person will always think about producing goods or services which are in demand. No one wants to produce anything which could not be sold. So, a rational person during these times, let's say the time which we are living today, sellers will be more interested to produce, let's say, online services or let's say online education or let's say any good um, which can be transferred or sold out through online systems or anything which actually meets the need of people during this pandemic time, just like hand sanitizers we spoke, or the hand washes, or the masks, or the let's say COVID-19 gear, any such thing. So all this makes a good demand for people. They want them. So seller will actually, because they are rational thinkers, they will produce similar products so that more products could be sold and they can earn more profit. We know that market is a system where there is competition. You know that many people are today are selling those N5 masks or any other masks, the ordinary ones. It's not just one person who is catering that need. It's not just one person who's producing those products, but there are many people. So it means that there is a competition. Many people are selling a specific product. But for some goods, it's not necessary that just one person may sell a particular product. There is monopoly too. So, but we say that a competitive market is a market where there are many buyers and sellers. So many people are there interacting with each other, so many shops of a particular good. You can find, let's say, a potato crisps pack in almost every store. You can buy a packet of biscuit anywhere. You can find, let's say, eggs or bread almost in every store in the street. So it means that there are so many sellers. Similarly for these products, because it's a wide, broad range product, so there are so many buyers for these products too. And we say that in a competitive market, it is actually not controlled by only one person. The prices cannot be controlled in such a market. And it says that in such a market, which is competitive in nature, a narrow range of prices is established that buyers and sellers actually have to agree upon. They have to act on it. They have to accept it. Because no one can sell in a competitive market, the prices again are set automatically by the demand and supply mechanism. The invisible hand sets the prices. So we do not have any control on the prices. You cannot put, let's say, bargain on, let's say, an ordinary crisps pack. You're going to buy lace for yourself, 50 rupees lace. Going to any store, the price of that lace pack will be same everywhere. That's particular size. You cannot negotiate with the shopkeeper wherever you go throughout the city, throughout the country. Reason? Just because the prices have been set. Everyone is ready to buy that lace pack on that particular price. If you say that you do not want to buy that particular lace pack for rupees 50, it means that the shopkeeper will simply say, okay, fine, don't buy it. And you will not buy, you won't be able to buy that product, that pack of chips anywhere less than that price. कहीं सस्ता नहीं मिलेगा आपको. So you do not have any choice. You will buy that chips for rupees 50. The negotiating power in such a market for a customer is negligible. You can't. Same as with seller. The Lay's chips is for rupees 50, and one shopkeeper says that okay, I'll sell it for a higher price, maybe rupees 60 or 70, whatever. No one will buy from him. Because that Lay's chips again, it actually caters a wide market. It's available almost in every superstore, every other general store too. So no one will pay that extra 10 rupees amount for that particular chips. So this example of Lay's crisp is just a minor example to let you understand that how a competitive market works and how the prices are so narrow. The sellers actually have to accept that if the price of chips is set at rupees 50, they have to sell it at rupees 50. If they ask you, okay, give me rupees 60 for that pack, of course, as a buyer, you will not agree upon it. You will say, okay, I won't buy, I'll buy it from somewhere else. And the seller will lose their customer. So, this is how it works. There is a negligible impact or negligible authority of buyers and sellers to affect on the prices, right? Moving ahead, when we're talking about a competitive market, we're actually talking about firstly a perfectly competitive market, a market where the products are same, they are similar, they are identical, they are almost same. There are numerous buyers and sellers of that product. Let's say bananas. Bananas everywhere in the country are same. They are no different. So anyone selling bananas for a higher price, of course, buyers won't buy it because there is a set price of the fruit items. Same is with wheat. All the wheat products, all the wheat, sorry, the wheat itself is same from wherever you buy. The wheat, gandum, is same, identical. So why will anyone pay extra if any of the seller is selling the wheat for at a higher price? So identical product have a perfectly competitive market. Same is with, let's say, eggs, a perfectly competitive market because all the eggs available in the market are identical. They are same, no different. And we know that in the perfectly competitive market, we have numerous buyers and numerous sellers. There is no one person who is selling eggs. There are not unlimited people who are selling eggs. You'll find eggs everywhere in all general stores. You'll find wheat in the wheat market, and it's just the one person, but there are numerous, countless people who are selling wheat. There are countless farmers who are producing and selling wheat. Same as with the fruit, the bananas, apples, and oranges, the mangoes. There are numerous sellers. Go to the market and you will see that there are numerous sellers of these items because these products are same, similar, एक जैसे हैं और इनको बेचने वाले they are countless और इनको लेने वाले भी the buyers are also numerous, countless, so many. हर एक घर में आटे की जरूरत है. हर एक घर में ऑलमोस्ट हर घर में फ्रूट लिया जाता है. हर घर में अंडे लिए जाते हैं. So what it is? The buyers. Look at the abadi, the population we have. Everyone's buying these products. It means that the demand for these products is again numerous. Everyone wants to buy these things. So it is a perfectly competitive market. And in this market, it's written there the buyers and sellers are price takers. They have to accept the price. Whatever the price is set of these products, we'll just understand, we learn that how the prices are set. But now, for now, we know that everyone has to accept the price, whatever the price is set, whatever the prices buyers or sellers, whatever the price is set by the market system, the buyers and sellers have to agree upon it. They have to pay the amount which is required to be paid for these things. अगर आपको, let's say you're going to a general store to buy eggs, you know there's a specific amount of payment you have to pay for it. उसकी price set है. आप सस्ता नहीं ले सकते. ठीक है? Then moving ahead, after perfectly competitive market, Monopoly. Remember in the class, as I usually do, I've made two strings, two broad strings. Sorry, one broad string. Sorry, and within that string, I just mentioned that there are two different ends. Let's say this pen, if you can see my video, it has two different edges, two different extremes. One is this end, and the other is this end. So within this end, every market, a competitive market, has two different extremes. One extreme is the perfectly competitive market, whereas the other extreme is the monopoly. Here we say that there are so many buyers and sellers, and here we say that there is just one seller. Many buyers, but one seller. Numerous sellers, one seller. अगर कोई ऐसा प्रोडक्ट हो जो कि सिर्फ एक सेलर बेचता है, दैट इज मोनोपोली. और सोचें, जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट, दैट कैन एनीवन नेगोशिएट विद दैट सेलर. एक कोई ऐसी चीज जो बनाता ही एक पर्सन है, तो क्या हम उससे प्राइसेस नेगोशिएट करेंगे? नहीं कर सकते. वो सेलर कहेगा कि ठीक है, अगर आप प्राइस कम देंगे तो मुझसे ना लें, जाइए किसी और सेलर को ढूंढें. लेकिन कोई और सेलर ही नहीं है मार्केट में, तो आपको मजबूरन उसी प्राइस पे वो चीज लेनी पड़ेगी. A classic example of monopoly is the utilities. हमारी बेसिक जरूरियात जो यूटिलिटीज कहलाती हैं, सर्विसेज, जैसे कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की जो प्राइस गवर्नमेंट सेट करती है, we actually have to agree upon it because electricity is produced by only one seller. Isn't that so? KESC in Karachi. So जो prices are set by them, that is a because they are a monopoly, we have to accept it. Same as with other utilities too. So think about them. What other utilities do we have? And think about other monopolies too, if there are any other monopolies in the world. Then comes duopoly. Duo means two. Mono means one. Duo means two. So it is a type of market where oligopolies, let's say, or only two sellers are actually selling a product. We've learned about oligopoly too. Oligopoly is sort of, let's say, a cartel. If you remember, usually cartels are there. So it is oligopoly where there are, one second, yeah, we can just see this chart. Oligopoly, where there are few firms. One end of this pen, which I have shown you, had the monopoly part, the other end was perfectly competitive. Once you switch from monopoly, one firm, if there are two firms, that makes duopoly. But if there are two or three firms, we usually call them oligopoly. In such type of firms, there are limited number of sellers, and the product is actually same, almost same within that market. It's not a differentiated product. But what happens in such a market? Cartels are being created. And I very much hope that my students remember what cartels are. We actually had a very good discussion on it. So, cartels like the oil producing countries, the cartels of the diamonds, the cartels of olive oil, and so on and so forth. So oligopolies are created, and let's say the airlines, the prices of such product are not different much because these people, the oligopolies, the few sellers, have a, let's say, an association, and they set the prices all together with each other's consent, so they do not change the prices much, right? And there's a specific price. Same is with airlines, you won't see much differences from one airline to another. Reason being, they are creating a sort of a cartel or an oligopolistic business. Then comes the monopolistic competition. The word comes from mono, again one, but it's a monopolistic competition. Here remember that the firms are many, not countless, less than a perfectly competitive market, but the firms are many. In such a market, because we see that why the word mono is here, it's because the firms have very differentiated product, very different product from each other. Differentiated means that they have something unique to sell. So in a monopolistic competition, the firms have something unique, the products are not same, and they sell something unique, something different. So they have the liberty to set the prices themselves. They can. So the examples written here is just like the novels being sold. So novels all are have a different essence, a differentiated quality. All novels are different. So you will pay a price, whatever is being asked by the seller, because it has a unique feature. And you know about the perfectly competitive market, which includes wheat and milk and other examples. So I hope that you understand the four broad types of a market structure, and we'll proceed with the next slide now. Demand. Demand of a product is actually the need, the necessity. But we say in economics, to be precise, that the quantity demanded of any product depends upon a person's willingness and ability to purchase anything. Now you see that the word willingness and ability are underlined here. Willingness. I have a desire to buy something. I really want to buy a luxurious car. That's my willingness. I really want to buy. But that willingness does not create demand. There should be something else so that the market demand is created. Will BMW buy produce a car for me because I am willing to buy BMW? I don't think so. They won't consider my demand as a demand. There is another component which is very important along with willingness, so that demand could be created or could be considered. That is the ability of a person. If I want to buy a BMW and I also have that much money, then only the demand is created. Then only. The BMW makers will actually make a car for me because I have the ability to, the affordability, the money price. So, demand is actually the willingness and ability of a person. If these both components are together, present, it means that the demand of that particular product persists. It is there. Alternatively, if we see that one person has ability to buy a luxurious car, but he doesn't want to, he already has many cars. That again nullifies the thing. That again just diminishes, or let's say rejects the idea of demand, because the ability is there, the affordability is there, just one component, but willingness is not there. No one's the person doesn't want to buy that. So why will the company produce a luxurious car for him? So just the concept, the idea, remember, demand is always created when the willingness and ability. Both things are together, not just one. Both components should meet. Next comes the law of demand. It's a law. It has to be accepted because it has been tested. It states that there's an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, but other things equal. There's an opposite relation, inverse relation between the prices and quantity demanded. Whenever the prices of a product go up, the quantity demanded for that product goes down, the inverse relationship. Whereas whenever the prices of a product go down, people actually want to buy that product more. This is how this relationship works. Price up, quantity demanded down. Price down, quantity demanded goes up. The relation, an inverse, an opposite relationship between P price and QD, quantity demanded. We see this relationship between the prices and quantity demanded as a demand schedule. It is simply a tabular representation, a table representation that how the prices and quantity demanded work together and how what is the relationship between them. The table. If the price of a particular product we see is zero, it's free. You see that everyone wants to buy the ice cream cones here, the product. But as soon as the prices go up from 0 to 2.5, the quantity demanded, you see, on the other hand, decreases from 12 to 10 because everyone cannot afford it. Many people, let's say the two people in the economy, have no affordability to buy it. They are unable to buy it. They do not have demand to buy it. Then comes if the prices go up from zero point 0.5 to 1, the quantity demanded on the right hand side goes from 10 to 8. You see that prices are kept on increasing. They are being increased from 1 to 1.5, then 2, then 2.5 and 3. The more the price, you see the right hand column says the quantity keeps on decreasing. The more prices, demand quantity will decrease. At a price, the highest price is $3 of per cone, and the quantity demanded at this highest price is zero. No one wants to pay $3 for a cone, right? So this is how a demand schedule works. The more the price, the less the quantity demanded. The less the price, the more the quantity demanded will be there. Demand, as we've already discussed, is determined by different components. The first component, which was discussed now, was the market price. Just assume the price of a cone, the picture here, if it is expensive, the more the price, the demand will go down. So, price is one of the determinant of demand. If this cone, the price of this cone is lowered, सस्ता कर दे इसको, जितना सस्ता करेंगे इसकी डिमांड और बढ़ेगी. तो डिमांड कैसे बनी? जब आपने प्राइस कम की, राइट? तो प्राइस डिटरमाइन करती है डिमांड को, प्राइस डिमांड को बनाती है. आपने अगर आज अपने सोशल मीडिया पे एक कोई प्रोडक्ट फ्री में लिख दिया कि आई हैव 100 ऑफ दीज पेन्स एंड दिस पेन की पिक्चर लगा दी अपने आपने सोशल मीडिया पे, आई हैव 100 पेन्स, 100 यूनिट्स and I'm selling them, sending them to free whoever comments on my post. You will find hundreds of comments, hundreds. Everyone wants free thing. Everyone. The demand is already there. Everyone wants to buy it. This pen, let's assume that this is for rupees 20, and आपने अपने सोशल मीडिया पे लिखा कि आई एम सेलिंग दिस प्रोडक्ट फॉर जस्ट रुपीज 2. 20 रुपए की पेन है, सिर्फ 2 रुपए में दे रहा हूँ. जिसने कमेंट में लिखा उसको मैं 2 रुपए में ये पेन सेल करूंगा. 100 यूनिट है मेरे पास. 20 रुपए की चीज 2 रुपए में मिल रही है. यू विल गेट न्यूमरस रिप्लाईज अगेन कि हमें ये चाहिए. लेकिन जैसे जैसे आप इसकी प्राइस बढ़ाते जाएंगे तो इसकी डिमांड, वो रिप्लाईज कम होते जाएंगे. अब लेट्स अज्यूम मार्केट में तो ये 20 रुपए में बेच रहे हैं. आपने इसकी प्राइस 20 रुपए ही लगा दी. आपने सोशल मीडिया पे लिखा कि आई एम सेलिंग इट फॉर रुपीज 20. Whoever wants to buy, please answer, reply on my post. Merely or hardly anyone will reply to you because it's already available in the market, in every shop. And because you're selling it for the same equal price, 20 rupees, hardly anyone, one or two people might respond to you. Even if you say that, okay, I'm selling it for rupees 22, no one will buy from you. Reason? Or what's the idea what we got from here? Is actually the price determined the different demand of this particular product. Right? तो किसी भी चीज की अगर डिमांड को क्रिएट करना हो तो उसकी प्राइस, we play with the prices, less price or more price, and see that how demand mechanism changes just because of the prices. Then next determinant of the demand is consumers' income. It's very important. Just assume that if a consumer's income is increasing, we see that that person whose income has increased will consume more because he has more purchasing power now, because he has more, um, let's say, more money to spend on. So that's why they'll consume more. So there is a positive relationship between consumer income and the demand. When people, because we are understanding about how people behave. If my income is increased, of course, I'll buy more of the products. I'll buy so many things which even I do not want to buy, which I have maybe in my bucket list. But if my income is deducted or cut off, it's decreased. In such circumstances, I will cut off, decrease my own consumption. I will not buy luxurious goods. I will not buy unnecessary things. But if the income goes up, I'll just go for dining out. I'll go for let's say, travel, a holiday. I'll buy some luxurious good, unnecessary things maybe, anything it could be. So I'm more willing to pay. I'm more willing to spend my money, whatever I am earning. So in a market system, we see that what are the economic conditions? We see that are people earning more, or they have some burden, they have some income deductions, are more people unemployed? अगर बेरोजगारी है तो लोगों के पास इनकम नहीं है, और इनकम नहीं होगी तो वो खरीदारी नहीं कर सकते, right? So income is an important determinant of demand. During this pandemic time, we see that many people are facing salary cutoffs. They have less money. So when there is again less money, the demand of certain products in the market have decreased. See the necessities, of course everyone want to has to fulfill their basic necessities, but you see the luxuries. I've noticed that in March and April, when we saw that how many automobiles or cars were sold in Pakistan, there were zero cars sold, none of them being sold, just because salary deductions and of course other reasons. That was, let's suppose, uncertainty. People do not know that what's happening around. So here we go. Consumer income is one of the determinant of demand. I hope you've understood that. Then comes the prices of related goods. Related goods. There are two different types of related goods. There are substitutes and there are, yes, exactly. The prices of related goods, the substitutes first. What are substitutes? Substitutes are the products which are the alternatives. Let's say, taking the same example of ice creams. If you want to eat an ice cream cone in a hot summer day, there might be some alternatives too of buying ice cream. You want to eat something cold, maybe it is, let's say, you want to buy a kulfi instead. Maybe you want to buy any other, let's say, a drink, a cold drink, maybe a glass of fresh juice. So all these things are somehow substitutable alternatives. They are different alternatives to ice cream, right? So you want something, you want to consume something cold, you either will buy an ice cream, or you will just go on spend your money on any other good. So when we speak about substitutes, we see that substitute prices are one of the determinants of demand. Let's say you consider ice creams and, let's say, kulfi as two different substitutes to each other. You go outside of your college to buy an ice cream, and suddenly you saw in the same shop the kulfi is on discount, and you can buy two kulfis with the same amount while you are buying with which you are buying the ice cream for. So that actually gives you a good idea. Okay, why shouldn't I buy two kulfis instead of one ice cream? The price of kulfi is way cheaper. This is what you think. So that's why you will just quit buying ice cream and buy two kulfis instead. This is how it works. The price of substitute cut the demand for ice cream. Isn't that so? So if the prices of substitutes are lower, the demand of a particular good goes down. Again, if a person just went to buy a kulfi and there they saw that the kulfi price is very high, they can't afford it, they'll find the alternative. And there they found an ordinary cone just at a cheaper price. They will definitely buy that ice cream cone. So, if the substitutes are expensive, people will buy your product, your ice cream. But if the substitutes are cheaper, people will quit your demand as demand, they'll quit your product, and they'll buy an alternate, a substitute good. I hope you understand that. I'll see my video if it is working correct. 1 second, please. Okay, so my slides. Okay, so I'll resume with sharing yeah, it's on my screen again, and here I go with my slides. Yeah, we were here with the determinants of demand, and we're speaking about the prices of related goods. Once we have done with the substitute, we understand there that there is an inverse relationship between your substitute's prices and your demand. The prices of substitute good go down and the demand for your product goes down too. The prices of substitute goods go up. They're expensive. The demand for your product goes up too. And so it's a positive relationship. Then comes another product, that is the complements. One product, the related goods are substitutes, which are alternatives. And then there are some complements. Complements are the goods which actually support your product, which actually go along with your product. So let's say my phone. Every phone needs a network balance, let's say. Yes. Or every phone goes with a charger, right? So this phone and a charger are both complements to each other. A person, when buys a phone, they will definitely buy a charger. When the price of the demand for phones go up, the demand for chargers will automatically go up because they are complement to each other. When the demand for this product goes down, the demand for complement also goes down. No one will buy chargers, right? So this is how the mechanism works. If iPhones are expensive, less people will buy them. Because less people will buy iPhones, less iPhone chargers will be sold. The demand for a complement will go down. Increase in price of a product leads to decrease in the demand for a complement, right? Let's say a printer and its cartridge are complement to each other. Whenever people buy a printer, they will definitely buy a printer cartridge. When the price of printers go low, they are very cheap. Let's suppose the printers are very cheap. So more people will buy printers to have one in their house. More demand is there. Everyone is buying printers. They are going cheap. So just because the price of printer is low and the demand for printer is high, people will definitely buy cartridge, which means that demand for a complement has increased. Printer demand increases, complement cartridge demand also increases. This is how it works. The complements are always going along with the demand of a product. फोन सस्ते हो गए तो चार्जर्स की डिमांड बढ़ जाएगी, right? So this is how this mechanism works. I hope we have discussed much about it and you all remember about the substitutes and complements with examples. So anyways, moving ahead, tastes. Consumer actually have different tastes. And here actually when we speak about taste, we are not confining taste to only a person's choices, but it's also about the trend, the fashion. It's about the environment need. It's about the events and festivals which are happening. All these things are counted in tastes. So when the taste is there, okay, something is fashionable, people will demand more. Tastes determine the demand. Everyone wants to buy a particular brand. Everyone wants to buy Nike shoes. It means that the taste is there, the demand for Nike shoes is increasing. The taste. Everyone is using Insta these days. The demand for Insta is increasing. It's a trend that all the youngsters everywhere are using Snapchat. The demand for Snapchat is increasing. Isn't that so? So this is how it works. If the festivals are there, festivals, Eid is there. Because of the festival, the demand for all the goods related to the festival, that is Eid, will increase. Everyone wants to buy clothes. Let's suppose it's Ramzan around the corner. And with the Ramadan, it's the dates are associated. Everyone breaks their fast with dates. So Ramzan itself is a festival. So whenever Ramzan is around the corner, people will buy more dates. So the festival, the event actually determine the demand for dates, the khajur. Moving on with the expectations. People actually have expectations of different products. Let's say I know that just because it's summer now, so the prices of all the things, let's say air conditioners, will be very high. Sellers know that because it's very hot outside, so that's why they actually increase the prices of air coolers, air conditioners, water dispensers, because no, they know that everyone wants to buy them. But people actually expect these things. People are also smart, the consumers. So when they expect anything, they forecast anything, we've seen that they buy things maybe in advance. Let's say the air conditioners sales, when people know that they will increase in the prices of air conditioners will increase in near future. When summers are approaching, people tend to buy air conditioners in advance, in a prior time. When government announces that the prices of fuel, petrol, will increase in near future, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, the people actually will fill up their fuel tanks today. The demand for fuel will increase today. But vice versa, let's say government announces the prices of fuel will go down tomorrow. So people will not buy today. The demand will be less today, but they'll wait for tomorrow when the prices will go down. And then they will increase the demand when the prices are low. They expect, they forecast, they predict, and then they behave. This is how the demand mechanism works. This is how what consumers think and make their demand. Demand curve. The demand curve is a downward sloping line relating price to quantity demanded. We've learned about demand schedule, which was a tabular representation, a table, whereas demand curve is a graphical representation. When we just plot the demand schedule on the graph, we see that a curve, a trend line shows up, which shows that how demand behaves. How does it act? Because there is an inverse relationship between the prices and the quantities, the demand curve always slopes downward. It tends to go down, right? The downward slope. And we'll see how it works. Now, this is the demand curve. And there are two axes, x-axis on the horizontal line and y-axis on the vertical line. The straight line is the vertical line. On the y-axis, we have plotted the prices of the ice cream cones. On the x-axis, we have plotted the quantity of ice cream cones. And here we go. We have used the same demand schedule which we have shown you before. Once the prices and the quantities are plotted on both axes, we plot these prices and quantity demand. Once all these plots are made, we combine them. We see that what is the trend? How does the curve come up? When we join all these dots, we see a straight line. But this line is actually sloping downward. This line tells us that whenever the prices are very high, the demand is zero. But as soon as the prices are going down, they keep on decreasing. The demand is increasing. This demand curve shows us the inverse or negative relationship between prices and quantity demanded. A very important and very common term, ceteris paribus, which is a Latin word, and it says that all variables or all other things being equal. So all variables which we are studying here in the demand curve, we're studying about prices and quantity demanded. We're not studying anything else. We're only studying about the relationship between prices and quantity demanded. So that makes a downward sloping curve. You're not adding any taste or consumer income or any other thing within this relationship. So usually when we talk about the demand law, the law of demand, we say that there is a ceteris paribus. Within that law, it means that all things should be kept equal. No other thing should be interfering with the price, within the price and demand relationship. Let's say we have seen different scenarios where prices of a good are increasing, but it's the quantity demand also keeps on increasing. It actually violates, breaks up the law demand in some circumstances. हमने कहा कि ये एक लॉ है और जब लॉ बनता है तो वो चेंज नहीं होता, ठीक है? लेकिन लॉ को समझने के लिए हमें समझना चाहिए कि लॉज बनते हैं साइंटिफिकली एंड आई हैव टोल्ड यू दैट इट्स अ साइंटिफिक प्रोसेस द होल इकोनॉमिक्स. तो जब लॉ बना तो उसमें उन्होंने कहा कि देयर इज एन इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन प्राइस एंड क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड बट ceteris paribus. और सब चीजों को आप नहीं पढ़ेंगे, उनको उनका रिलेशनशिप जब देखेंगे प्राइस एंड क्वांटिटी का, तो बाकी सब चीजों का उस पर असर will be stopped. There will be no such impact of any other force on it. That is the law. अक्सर औकात जब हमने ये देखा कि किसी चीज की प्राइसेस बढ़ती हैं, साथ साथ उसकी डिमांड भी बढ़ने लगती है. जैसे कि हमने कहा खजूर की प्राइसेस. रमजान में जब भी रमजान आता है तो खजूर की प्राइसेस हाई हो जाती हैं, लेकिन लोग फिर भी उतनी खजूर लेते हैं. Why don't they decrease their demand for this khajur? Because now here the relationship is not between the price and quantity demanded. लेकिन यहाँ पे एक और चीज असरअंदाज हो रही है और वो है इवेंट रमजान. तो अगर आप उस रमजान के सीजन को वहां से हटाएं और डिमांड को यूजुअली चेक करें कि क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड और प्राइसेस का क्या रिलेशनशिप है, तो आप देखेंगे कि जब भी प्राइस बढ़ेगी खजूर की तो क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड कम होती जाएगी. लॉ बिल्कुल अपना सही तरह से काम करेगा. लेकिन अगर कोई भी ऐसा इवेंट है, सीजन है, जिसकी वजह से डिमांड पे अफेक्ट पड़ रहा हो, that is that violates the law and it's actually not the law then. क्योंकि जब लॉ की स्टेटमेंट लिखी जाएगी, demand law key statement, it clearly says that there is an inverse relationship between quantity demanded and price, but other things should be kept constant. बाकी सब चीजों को कांस्टेंट रखें. ईद भी ना हो उस टाइम पे, ना ही उस टाइम पे कोई सीजनल इफेक्ट हो या कोई और इवेंट हो या कंज्यूमर की टेस्ट चेंज ना हो रही हो. ये सब चीजें अगर होंगी तभी इन सब चीजों को कांस्टेंट रखेंगे, तभी लॉ अपना काम करेगा. आजकल के रीसेंट पैंडेमिक में हम देखें कि नेटफ्लिक्स की प्राइसेस वर प्रिटी हाई, right, to subscribe for Netflix or Amazon, but people still kept on buying them. From Pakistan, from around the globe, everyone was actually buying Netflix and Amazon subscriptions. Why is that so? It's actually not about learning about the price and demand relationship between the Netflix price and the quantity demanded for the subscription, but is actually there's another event, that is the pandemic, that is the lockdown, which is affecting the demand. अगर नेटफ्लिक्स की प्राइस बढ़ती भी जाती तब भी डिमांड इतनी ही रहती या बढ़ती क्योंकि लोगों को नेटफ्लिक्स की जरूरत थी. उसी तरह से let's say the sanitizers, the more expensive the sanitizers are today, still the demand is same, it's not going down because again there's a pandemic, there's an effect, there all other things are not constant. Citrus paribus is not working. So that's why we say whenever we are speaking about a law, we say citrus paribus. And you should know that what does it mean? Citrus paribus means that all other things should be kept constant. Moving on, it says, yeah, the demand curve slopes downward because citrus paribus lower the prices imply a greater quantity demanded. Lower prices will create a higher quantity demanded, but there should be citrus paribus. Other things should be kept constant. Market demand is the sum of all individual demands for a particular good or service. Let's say if all the individual demands, all the individual demand schedules are added up, then we can come up with a schedule which is the market demand. Market demand क्या है? वैसे क्या हमने किया था, एक आदमी का डिमांड कर्व बनाया था कि वो डिफरेंट प्राइसेस पे कितनी क्वांटिटीज लेगा. Now we see that because we want to know about market demand, तो हम बहुत सारे कस्टमर्स पूरी मार्केट में जितने आइसक्रीम लेने वाले हैं उनकी डिमांड चेक करेंगे. उसके लिए हम सबका अलग अलग डिमांड स्केड्यूल बनाएंगे. हर इंसान क्या अलग अलग नीड होता है और हर इंसान अलग तरह से बिहेव करता है. So we see that whenever there are different prices, a set of prices, every person will behave differently towards its demand. So ice आइसक्रीम अगर सेट प्राइसेस आपने 5-6 लिख दिए, जैसे कि हम इस कैजुअल में लिखे थे, तो हर पर्सन की डिमांड डिफरेंट होगी, उनका डिमांड क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड डिफरेंट चार्ट बनेगा। तो अगर आप उन सब क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड को सम अप कर दें, तो हम बता सकते हैं कि किस प्राइस में पूरी मार्केट कितनी आइसक्रीम्स लेगी, किस प्राइस में अगर प्राइस कम की जाए एक यूनिट, तो कितना इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा मार्केट डिमांड पे, कितने ज्यादा लोग उस प्रोडक्ट को लेंगे। आप उस प्राइस आइसक्रीम की प्राइस कुछ और कम कर दें, तो आप देखेंगे कि ओवरऑल मार्केट डिमांड पे इसका क्या असर पड़ा है। So this is how the economists, the forecasters or marketeers do. They actually predict the market demand. कि अगर हम प्राइसेस से प्ले करें, अगर हम प्राइसेस को कम या ज्यादा करें, तो मार्केट डिमांड पे कितना फर्क पड़ रहा है। And this is how the revenue and other things actually come up with. So graphically, individual demand curves are summed up horizontally to obtain the market demand curve. We all know about the market demand curves, determinants of demand, and here we are actually repeating this so that we may know about the determinants of demand in the of a market, of the complete market. We are just not repeating it again. Now comes very important point: change in quantity demanded and change in demand. There are two different things. And we have discussed, I really very much remember that we have discussed this thing in our class too. Change in quantity demanded. Whenever there is a change, please note it down, students. Whenever there is a change in the price, and just because of price, the demand curve changes. There's a movement in the demand curve. That is called change in quantity demanded. प्राइस की वजह से अगर डिमांड अफेक्ट हो रही है, तो उसको हम कहते हैं चेंज इन क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड। आई होप यू ऑल रिमेंबर दिस, राइट? एंड व्हेनेवर, जब भी हम कहें कि क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड चेंज हुई है, तो आप लोग समझ जाएं कि देयर इज अ चेंज इन प्राइस। Let me take a paper and let me see if I can tell you. I'm sorry, I do not have a very good paper with me. Yeah, 1 second, please. I want to explain you this thing with a on a paper so that you can understand. One, just give me a second. I wish I had a blackboard or whiteboard here in this YouTube session. But anyways, I'll work with this on this piece of paper, and I hope it is clear to you all. And I'll just try to explain it to some extent so that you can understand it. Any queries again will be can be shared on Google Classrooms or your WhatsApp groups so that we can understand this thing more clearly. I'm sharing my screen again, my PowerPoint, and here you go. Share, and my PowerPoint is here. Yes, here we were. Change in quantity demanded. Okay, and you can see this, right? Closing it. Okay, I have to share it again. So change in quantity demanded is actually, I'm noting it down. I'm writing the same thing so that I can tell you that how we express it numerically and how what does it really mean. It's the movement and change in price due to the change. Okay, here we go. And see if I'm actually really, really visible to you on this YouTube session. Here you go. Change in quantity demanded. The change in quantity demanded. This change is actually, when we write this down, I've just written this in English. This change is actually expressed as delta. Can you see this triangle? This is called the delta, right? I'm writing down the spelling here. It's delta. Okay, delta. And we write change. This is change. This delta means change. And quantity demanded, we write a bigger Q and a smaller D. Here you go. Change in quantity demanded. Delta means change, Q means quantity, and D means demand. Change in quantity demanded. This phrase, change in quantity demanded, is written with this expression. This expression tells us change in quantity demanded. It's a numerical expression. इंग्लिश में हमने लिखा change in quantity demanded, लेकिन हमने इसको numerically जब express किया तो we write it as a triangle, a bigger Q and a smaller D. I think it is clear to you all. Change in quantity demanded, right? And now we say there is a movement. This change happens, this change in quantity demanded happens because there is a change in, change in price. It's just because of the change in price. When the price changes, change in quantity demanded happens. And it creates a movement. Can you see that word movement? It moves the curve. Just there is a movement along the curve. Please note it down. Movement along the curve. So change in quantity demanded only happens just because of changes in prices. Price change, quantity demanded changes. And it changes the demand curves movement, right? So here we see in my slides, I want to show you that how this movement along the curve happens. Here, you can make a graph yourself while you are watching this video. Just put a number of any item. Here they have put number of cigarettes smoked per day. The quantities always remain on the x-axis, and the price of cigarette, the prices remain on the y-axis. So plot a graph, put the prices on y-axis and quantity demanded on the x-axis. Here they say that if the prices of a certain product, let's say the cigarettes, were $2 per pack, and they've assumed at $2, 20 people were buying these cigarettes. $2 का एक पैकेट 20 लोग खरीद रहे थे. ठीक है, आपने एक डॉट बना दिया इन दोनों को, जहां पे ये दोनों पॉइंट्स मीट कर रहे हैं. That A point is actually your one of the demand. It's determining the demand. Now I say कि अगर सिगरेट की प्राइस चेंज की जाए, कम या ज्यादा की जाए, तो यकीनन हमें ये पता है कि डिमांड पे इफेक्ट पड़ेगा. सिगरेट की प्राइस Yeah. Just because there was a tax imposed on the price of a cigarette, right? So what happens? Let's see. From $2 to $4, if the prices are increased, right? What happens? There will be a demand decrease. ऐसे ही होगा. कम लोग सिगरेट ले सकते हैं अभी क्योंकि देखिए डबल हो गई इसकी प्राइस. $2 का पैकेट मिलता था. Now it is for $4. Pretty expensive. So $4 and how much demand? Quantity demanded decreases and it goes to another point, that's point C. 20 people were buying before at price $2, but the prices increased from $2 to $4. Only 12 people are able to buy that product. Point A से point C. अब गौर करें the arrows. एक एरो बता रहा है 2 से 4 की तरफ. ये प्राइस को बता रहा है. इंक्रीज इन प्राइस. दूसरा एरो बताता है कि जैसे ही प्राइस इंक्रीज हुई, याद रखें प्राइस इंक्रीज होने की वजह से द नंबर ऑफ सिगरेट रिड्यूस फ्रॉम 20 टू 12. ये एक एरो 20 से 12 की तरफ जा रहा है, राइट? एंड देन कम्स इन दोनों के रिलेशनशिप की वजह से, प्राइस बढ़ने की वजह से जब डिमांड कम हुई तो हमने जो प्लॉट किए थे 2 पॉइंट्स, एक पॉइंट था ए, अब दूसरा पॉइंट जो एमर्ज हुआ जो बना दैट वाज सी पॉइंट. तो पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट सी, इस मूवमेंट को हम कहते हैं मूवमेंट अलोंग द कर्व. अब देखिए वो एक ही लाइन में मूव कर रहा है. ऐसा नहीं है कि सी पॉइंट लाइन के कहीं बाहर बना. सी पॉइंट उसी लाइन पे डिमांड कर्व पे ही बना है. दैट इज द मूवमेंट ऑफ द कर्व फ्रॉम पॉइंट ए टू पॉइंट सी, राइट? अब क्यों हुई मूवमेंट आपको समझ आ गया होगा. दैट इज जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द changes in the price. Change in price. When I write change in price, again I'll use my delta, the delta sign, and here it goes. Change in price, delta P. Change in price created this one, change in quantity demanded. Yes, change in price, change in quantity demanded, and that created a movement along the curve. The curve moved. I did not create any other extra curve. The curve was same, but it actually moved from point A to point C to a new point. Correct? Going back to the slides again. I hope you can see them. Yeah. So you can again draw a similar graph and see that if the prices are brought down, brought back, let's say decreased again, what happens to the demand? How it goes, how the movements again occur, maybe a new point comes up. But remember, because it's movement along the curve, we can create B, C, D, E, F, whatever points, but they all will be created within the same line. इस लाइन से आगे जा ही नहीं सकेंगे. आप कितनी भी कोशिश कर ले, आपको इसी लाइन पे ही वो ग्राफ बनेगा. The graph will not tell you any point outside of this line. अगर प्राइस की वजह से आपकी डिमांड चेंज हो रही है तो वो इसी लाइन पे ही बनेगी, और उस लाइन पे जितने भी पॉइंट्स आप लगा दें, ए बी सी डी ई एफ, दे आर ऑल आर मूवमेंट्स अलोंग द कर्व. एक ही कर्व पे मूवमेंट्स ही कहलाए जाएंगे, और इन सब को हम क्या कहेंगे? चेंज इन क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड. So I recap, change in quantity demanded is just because of changes in prices. Price change आपकी quantity demand को चेंज करता है। अब हम देखते हैं एक नई चीज। You have learned that there was a change in quantity demanded. But again, there is also another terminology that refers to change in demand. पूरी डिमांड चेंज हो जाना। प्राइस चेंज होती है तो हम यूजुअली आम जुबान में कहते हैं कि डिमांड चेंज हो गई। बट डिमांड चेंज प्राइस की वजह से नहीं होती। प्राइस की वजह से क्या होता है? चेंज किस पे आता है? क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड पे। लेकिन जब हम कहते हैं कि डिमांड चेंज हो गई तो डिमांड प्राइस की वजह से चेंज नहीं होती, लेकिन किसी और फैक्टर की वजह से। जैसे कि अगर रमजान आया और उसकी वजह से रेडीमेड कपड़ों की डिमांड बढ़ गई, it means that it is called change in demand. If we say that just because of a trend, everyone is buying iPhones, trendy है, सब लोगों को चाहिए iPhone लेना है और नया जो मॉडल आया है वो बहुत ही क्लासी है. If everyone wants to buy that, everyone's going to buy it, although it's expensive, but everyone's buying the new iPhone. It means that there is another reason, not the price. That's why the whole demand has changed. Now let's say, okay, um, again, I'll come up with the same example of this pandemic. We see that there is a particular medicine. I'll just not name it, but it's an antibiotic, an injection. And just if you use it, if any, God forbid, anyone has that corona, the virus, if you use that injection, the chances are that you will be saved, you can survive just because of that cure. It is a cure for corona. So we see that just because it is a cure of a epidemic of a virus, just because of that, the demand of that injection has drastically increased. क्यों बढ़ी डिमांड? क्योंकि उसकी जरूरत बढ़ गई। उसका फैशन नहीं है, लेकिन उसकी जरूरत ऑटोमेटिकली किसी दूसरी वजह से, वबा की वजह से, पैंडमिक की वजह से बढ़ी है। So that means that demand has changed. So overall, the whole demand has changed. Are you understanding it? So that is called the change in demand. अब ये quantity demanded change नहीं हुई, पूरी demand change हो गई है। प्राइस वही रहेगी, लेट्स सपोज उस इंजेक्शन की प्राइस वही है, लेकिन उसकी डिमांड बढ़ गई है। That whole change in demand is called shift in demand. It creates a new shift in the demand curve. Let's say again, coming back to the previous example, the dates, khajur, just because of the holy month, Ramadan, the price of that khajur remains same. Let's suppose it is for 500 rupees per kg. 500 रुपए किलो ही है पूरा साल। लेकिन रमदान की वजह से रमदान आया तो उसकी डिमांड बढ़ गई। अब हम प्राइस को कुछ नहीं कह रहे हैं, ठीक है, हम कह रहे हैं प्राइस वही है, 500 केजी ही थी, लेकिन डिमांड बढ़ गई उसकी। किस वजह से बढ़ी? होली मंथ की वजह से। अब हम इस डिमांड को क्या कहें? हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि प्राइस की वजह से बढ़ी थी। नो, प्राइसेस आर सेम, लेकिन एक रमदान की वजह से बढ़ गई, जरूरत की वजह से बढ़ गई, तो हम कहेंगे दैट द होल डिमांड हैज चेंज्ड. This is not change in quantity demanded now. This is change in demand. Right? I hope you understand. उसी तरह से आजकल की again एग्जाम्पल, इस पैंडेमिक में हर एक को ऑनलाइन क्लासेस लेनी है, and just because of this online classes everyone has to buy internet connection, network connection. इंटरनेट के लिए आपको नेटवर्क को पैसे देने हैं. So that means that prices of internet connection is same. प्राइसेस कुछ चेंज नहीं हुई। वैसे क्या होता है कि अगर कोई चीज सस्ती हो जाए, जैसे लॉ ऑफ डिमांड कहता है, अगर कोई चीज सस्ती हो जाए तो उसकी डिमांड चेंज होती है, जिसको हम चेंज इन क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड कहते हैं। ठीक है, लेकिन यहाँ पे हम कह रहे हैं कि प्राइस तो सेम है, लेकिन फिर भी डिमांड पे अफेक्ट पड़ा, डिमांड बढ़ गई किसी चीज की। जैसे कि डिमांड बढ़ गई आपके इंटरनेट कनेक्शन की। क्यों बढ़ी? कोई और फैक्टर था, पैंडेमिक की वजह से, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की वजह से डिमांड चेंज हो गई, प्राइसेस सेम थी। Now the whole demand is changing. That we call change in demand. And that demand we do not show with a movement along the same curve, but it is just because we show it with a shift in curve. एक बिल्कुल entirely नया shift बन जाता है, demand drastically change हो जाती है, बिल्कुल नया demand curve create करना पड़ता है इसके लिए। I hope you understand. ठीक है, so here we go. I'm just showing you up again a little bit of explanation. पहले हमने कहा था the delta shows us that if there is a, here we go, a change in price, this delta p, this change in price creates a change in quantity demanded. Yes, ये प्राइस की वजह से अगर चेंज होता है तो जो चेंज आता है उसको हम कहते हैं चेंज इन क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड, और ये शो होता है विद द मूवमेंट ऑन द सेम कर्व। एक ही लाइन पे ए बी सी डी जो कर्व्स बनते हैं, पॉइंट्स बनते हैं, उसको हम कहते हैं चेंज इन क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड। बट इफ आई राइट डाउन हियर change, that is again delta, mathematical expression, change is for delta, and any other determinant, change in any other determinant। हमने बहुत से determinant demand के पढ़े, जैसे कि कंज्यूमर की इनकम, जैसे कि कंज्यूमर का टेस्ट, जैसे कि एक्सपेक्टेशन। अगर किसी भी और डिटर्मिनेंट पे चेंज की वजह से आपकी डिमांड पे फर्क पड़ता है, we call it change in demand. This is no more a quantity, there's no q in it. Here is the relationship, I hope you can see it. Change, here it goes. This change means triangle is the change, any other determinant, it leads to change in D, that D is demand. पहले हमने क्या लिखा था? Change in QD, वो किसकी वजह से था? प्राइस की वजह से। अब प्राइस सेम है, लेकिन कोई और डिटर्मिनेंट है जो डिमांड को अफेक्ट कर रहा है, तो उसको हम कहते हैं चेंज इन डिमांड। So change in quantity demanded is because of price, and we show it with movement along the curve. Whereas change in demand is just because of the change in any other determinant. Consumer अमीर हो गया, उसकी सैलरी बढ़ गई, that is complete change in demand. अब वो ज्यादा चीजें लेगा, उसकी डिमांड चेंज हो जाएगी, और इसको हम शो करेंगे with the shifts in curve. That the first one was movements along the curve. If you see this connection, okay, here shows up change in demand is due to change in any other determinant, and we show it with the shifts in curve. Whereas just because of change in prices, change in quantity demanded happens, and we show it with the movements along the curve. हम अभी इसकी बात कर रहे हैं, shifts कैसे create होते हैं। Here I go with my slides back. Yes. So here it is, change in demand. I hope you can see my slides. Here we come up with a graphical representation, a graphical understanding that how the demand changes. The price of ice cream is on y-axis, the quantity of ice cream is on the x-axis, एंड देयर इज अ डिमांड कर्व। और हमने देखा कि प्राइस सेम है, कोई भी प्राइस आप किसी भी पॉइंट पे ले लें ऑन वाई एक्सिस, और आप देखें कि उसी प्राइस पे डॉट बना लें प्राइस का, उसी प्राइस पे डिमांड एकदम से बढ़ जाए, डिमांड बिल्कुल ही नई डिमांड बन जाए, प्राइस तो वही है। अब हम कैसे इसको प्लॉट करेंगे? एक नया कर्व शिफ्ट हो जाएगा, आइदर ऑन द राइट साइड और ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड। अगर किसी वजह से एक पर्टिकुलर प्राइस पे डिमांड कम हो गई, लेट्स से इट कुड बी लेट्स से पेन, अगर एक पेन की प्राइस सेम है 20 रुपए, लेकिन लोगों को स्कूल्स में कहा गया कि नो वन विल यूज पेन्स नाउ, एवरीवन हैज टू यूज पेंसिल्स। पेन की प्राइसेस तो 20 रुपए ही रहेगी पहले, लेकिन सब लोगों ने पेन लेना छोड़ दिया, पेन की डिमांड एकदम से खत्म हो गई, कम हो गई। प्राइस तो 20 रुपए ही थी, प्राइस पे कोई इफेक्ट नहीं किया दुकानदार ने, लेकिन इसकी डिमांड कम हो गई। दैट इज कॉल्ड चेंज इन द होल डिमांड फॉर पेन मार्केट। आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड। उसी तरह से अगर मैं कहूं कि इसकी प्राइस तो 20 रुपए ही रही, लेकिन हर स्कूल में, हर यूनिवर्सिटी में, all the teachers have advised all students to use a particular, let's say this is dollar का clipper. Everyone will bring dollar clipper pen. Everyone has to bring $5 clipper pens to the class. पूरे पाकिस्तान के बच्चों को कहा गया, everyone is going to buy it. क्या हो गया? एकदम प्राइस तो 20 रुपए ही है, लेकिन इसकी डिमांड ड्रास्टिकली चेंज हो गई, एकदम से बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो गई। Rightward shift in the demand curve. That is called change in demand. So change in demand could be increase in demand or decrease in demand. If the demand curve shifts to the right side, it is called increase in demand. If the demand curve shifts to the left side, it is called decrease in demand. So I hope that these two things are very much clear to you, the difference between change in demand and change in quantity demanded. So I guess that we have had a 1.5 session. In fact, more than that. It's been 1 hour 40 minutes almost now. So this is good enough for today, and all students can um, check their Google Classroom assignment, and the assignment is related to the lecture which I have conveyed today, the topics whatever we have covered today, and come up with your assignment solution. Submit your assignment on deadline. It's actually all the practice about demand, their determinants, and also about the basic 10 principles which we have studied before. So you can have a refreshed concept of all those things which we have covered. And I'll meet you up on Zoom class to see if you have any queries to answer them. And later on, we'll be meeting next week, the next session. I hope all the queries, all the concepts which we have covered today are very much clear to you. Keep practicing economics and learn the graphs and everything by heart. Good luck to you all. Thank you.